y'all.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it's Ladies' Night. Hello, Aprylete Russell. How are you?
Hey there. I will say Thursdays are my favorite day of the week.
Yay!
We're going to stop right there. Thursdays are my favorite day of the week. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Is it because it's Friday Eve, as I like to call it?
Definitely. And it's Aprylete Day. So
It's Aprylete Day.
there we
More
go.
importantly. That's right. And Yolanda Starks White, how are you on Aprylete Day?
I'm happy. I'm good. Aprylette, you look beautiful.
Yeah, did you have a
Oh
photo
my
shoot or something today?
God, look at your hair. Yes, girl. Oh my God, yay.
Wow. And those who are
Beautiful.
listening, you can't see her. It's laid.
Thank
Right.
you. I appreciate that. You know, I had to kind of pop out just a little bit.
So
Okay.
how long it take you to get that done?
We're not
And,
going to
and
go
and
there.
how far did you have to go to have it done?
Did you go back to
We're
the
not
same
going to
lady?
go there, but I was at the shop for a while.
Okay, so the last time we
Oh,
had this conversation, it was like 8 hours.
is it my Wi-Fi?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
your Wi-Fi, but we
yeah.
can hear you. Just keep going. You'll catch up.
It
So wasn't it about 8 hours when you went to this place and you were talking about how long it took for the
yeah.
little bit of hair that you have and all of that, and didn't know if you were going to go back and this has been a while, but I'm
And
thinking
you went back.
Yes,
you
and I continuously go back because she does an amazing job and she's so awesome. But I will say this last time I went, Tuesday, appointment was at 11. I left at 3:30.
that's not
Oh,
bad.
that's good.
That's
That's better.
better.
Better, yeah, right? Better. And here's the results. So it's just like I'm happy.
Oh yeah.
So there we
But
go.
it looks like she's worth your money and your time.
Yeah.
What ideally amount of time would you like
Right.
for this to happen in?
An hour.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Depending
You
on
can
like the
do all of that in an hour?
But see, that's why I said depending on the type of service. But coming from Atlanta, I don't know those girls' hands, those wrists. Maybe they was so in Atlanta they had a shampoo person, and so
Hmm.
she could really get you in an hour because they have like multiple people just kind of doing the steps. My
Somebody who does shampoo and then somebody who takes
Yep,
care of you and then puts you in the chair.
yes, and so my girl now she's just with herself, but she does an amazing job, and I love her so much. But it's just her by herself, so it'll take a little bit. But yeah, hour. That's all. I really only want to spend an hour. Even getting my nails done. Like people do that as self care. It's a work for me. I'd rather not. Do not take
You
me to the
self
nail shop.
care.
It's
You
self-care.
self care other ways. Because if that don't bring you peace, it's not self care.
Yeah, I should.
Right.
Yeah, do not take me to the nail shop. It's like, oh, this is a self care day. No, I'd rather not.
So that would be an hour to do your, would that be your hands or your hands and feet or what?
Oh, my hands and feet at the nail shop takes longer than that. That's about a 2 hour thing. And that doesn't seem like self care for me. It's just like that's time out of my day that I'd rather spend doing something else. But to look good, to have them done, be presentable, then we go get them done.
Yeah, well, me and my claws haven't been in a pedicure chair in a while, so I'm kind of embarrassed how much time that would take. You know,
We gotta get you together. We gotta get your feet nice. What about your feet, Yogi?
My feet are beautiful,
she
and
takes really good care of her feet.
I don't go to the salon anymore. But my feet are naturally beautiful.
I love that. I mean, and your husband probably would toot his horn too, because you gotta lay with them claws.
Well, my husband, he likes feet. Well,
So you
he
gotta keep 'em
well,
nice.
hold on. He don't like feet. He does not like feet, but
He
he
likes it.
recognizes some tore up feet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not your feet. He just doesn't like overall. He
Yeah,
doesn't like.
he's not a foot person.
Got
But
you.
if he
Okay.
sees something that is not pleasing to his eye,
Mhm.
he notices it.
Have you ever dated a guy who was a foot person?
So
Because I did. I will say that I did,
hold on.
and
Let's take a pause. Do you realize how long it's been since I've dated someone else? Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. It's been over 20 years, Sybil. I
it doesn't.
barely
It seems
feel
like
20 years
yesterday.
old.
It feels like
Oh
yesterday.
my gosh, I can't believe I've been married this long. Good night.
And it seems
Okay.
like yesterday, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Love that. The comforting blanket. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm sorry, you were saying you dated a guy once.
Yeah, and at first he liked women's feet, and at first it was like, okay, kind of cool, because he would give you great foot massages, and then it just got creepy, and I was like, no.
But Sybil, you got, I can imagine, because you really do have pretty feet. Like your toes are perfectly aligned and they're very dainty. Yeah, you have very pretty feet. So I can see him kind of going too far on your feet.
It got weird. It got really weird.
You walk in the house, there's all pictures of her feet everywhere. Like,
and his phone was always on the floor, Aprylete. I don't know why.
How silly.
All right, so let's go from the ridiculous to the news and talk about our What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our newsletter that we put out Monday through Friday. It is designed to super serve the African American community, to inform and empower people. And we have a number of young contributors who are working with us each and every day. Today is Aprylete Day, and she is our mental health and wellness contributor. And Aprylete, a really interesting story today about the effect that book bans have on the mental health of our young Black readers and young people.
yes. So actually, when I picked this story, when I came across it, I thought about Quinn because she's an educator. And I would love to hear her insight and what, she kind of is experiencing in the education system. But the book ban has been across the country for months now, almost like a year, honestly. And a group called the PEN America, they've been tracking the book bans. And they said from between June of 2022 and July of 2023, there were almost 4,000 book bans involving 1,500 titles. And these titles, honestly, they have said that 41% of them are highlighting the LGBTQ plus community themes and themes of people of colors with characters of colors. There was a board meeting in Pennsylvania where the parents were there and they were discussing the book ban. No parent commented. No parent had anything to say.
No one objected to.
No, they were all for it, right? And this had raised concerns with the psychologist who lives in the area. And one of the books that were brought up in attention was called "All Boys Aren't Blue" by George Johnson, and this is a young adult memoir about growing up Black and queer. So this raised concerns with the psychologist. And so she's saying that it causes detrimental impact on the child's mental health, especially children of color, because they don't have access to books that features people that look like you, that feel like you, that are going through experiences like you. And so since no one's fighting back, no educators, no parents, where does that leave the children when it comes to the literature that is being accessible to them?
Yes.
So I have a question. So, Sybil, and you might be able to help. This book ban, when they say book ban, they mean it's banned out of school. But if I wanted to go on Amazon or wherever to purchase it, I can personally purchase it.
But so as far as the classroom and the libraries are concerned, taking them off the shelves of a school or the school library or the syllabus in a classroom situation.
So my second question, and this is ignorance, and that's just lack of knowledge on my part. If they take it out of the school, then we still have the responsibility, one, to share this information, and we have the means to share this information to the community,
right?
Because it's not like the books, they can't find these books,
right?
Because representation is important. We hear that all the time. So it's not like a young Black queer can't have access to it. It's just not in school.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But by the same token, it used to be no matter what your differences were, you could always find representation in your library.
In the library, yes.
Well, but to be fair, Do kids go to the library?
Yes.
They still go to the library?
Not the I don't have figures. But
Okay.
certainly yeah, I mean some schools have library hours sometimes where
Yeah, ooh,
you know
that is
Right, but I mean, you
in
can't
in
wipe
their
it off the
school.
internet. If it's on the internet, you can't wipe it off the internet.
well, think about it this way. If a child does not have the environment at home where books are, just a part of every day, like kind of maybe
Right.
for all three of us on the phone, school is where they get, the library
Where they're
and
exposed to different
yeah,
lives and lifestyles.
exactly. So it's just like then that kind of is concerning. But of course, like you said, it's up to the parents. But it's just like if they're not in an environment like
But
that
if
where
there is a lack of knowledge
yes.
on the part of parents or grandparents or
Mhm.
whoever their adult figures are,
So let
then
me
where are
ask
they
you
going to get
this.
it?
Isn't it a bigger question, Quinn? Because
That would be
just
April.
no. I mean Quinn, because I'm about to talk about LGBTQ plus. So abstractly, Quinn.
Okay.
But isn't it a bigger problem? Because even if those books were in the library, even if they did have access to them, if they are against the book, they're not teaching it anyway.
But
Right?
that but you have teachers who are capable of teaching it, and especially teachers who are out these days, who
Oh,
may
okay.
be a
I see
part
what
of the
you're saying.
LGBTQ community, and now the opportunity to have these discussions and to
Yeah.
expose the children to the subject and alternative lifestyles. And I don't mean alternative lifestyles like you want to turn a straight child queer. That's not what we're saying,
Right,
certainly.
of
But
course.
we are saying that now we have teachers who are open about their lifestyles and want to help a child who may be going through something and yet they can't. They're being
Mhm.
censored.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Censorship
And
is really wrong.
Right.
yes, and there's other topics as well,
Yeah.
rights and racism, religion, and things like that. So there's a array of topics, and so again, with the group that was putting together the figures for the band, saying almost 4,000 books, 1,500 titles, and again, it's those topics. And when you think about racism, when you think about the characters and the protagonist being black or minority, that's when it is kind of like, is it I don't know, like a stab at us. That's
Well,
just kind
Right.
and think about this in the state of Florida, where students were taking advanced placement courses in Black history, in African American studies.
But they
And
have access to it online. And so
But
what my
but that's not what's being taught in the classroom. And when
okay,
they go to take the advanced placement exams, they can't say, "Oh, we didn't learn that because they
of
took it
right.
out of our classroom." Or the governor saying, "We don't want this. We don't want to make white children feel bad about slavery, so we're not going to even include it." How are you going to justify not giving the real history of a
right,
people by
Yeah.
right.
saying, we don't want to make kids feel bad?
So in my simple mind is not just the banning of the books, it is what is being taught.
Right.
So it's the elimination or lack
Yes.
of
Or
information and
censorship of
education that's
this.
being taught. Got
Yep.
it. I
Yep.
got that. But
Yep.
you know what? So what that does, from a positive standpoint, is that gives us an opportunity to reimagine how we educate, which needs to happen anyway.
Well, for sure. But let me use you as an example. You've written a great book called Jewels from My Daddy. That things that you should know, that every girl should know, that I got from my dad that you may not have. Suppose they took an obscure view of that and said that sounds odd. Why would you want to be sharing information? It's incumbent upon us to share information with our children. Let's get rid of that book. And you mean nothing but good and positive
Right,
things,
right,
just like in terms of detoxing our minds and those things that
Mhm.
you put together in booklet form. And what do they say? Oh, yoga is the devil's religion, and we don't want any of that. Suppose they did that and tried to justify it and said, nope, that's another book we're taking off. That's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the possibility of expanding people's
Yes.
minds.
Yeah.
I agree. But recognizing that it's not fair gives us an opportunity to be innovative. And we're
Okay,
smart enough
and so we
people
have to, we
to
have to,
figure
but
out
not
how to
everybody
get
is that innovative. So we have
Exactly.
to,
What
we
does
have to
that
be
look
very
like?
strategic
Yes.
about where we're going and how we're going to spread the word about these various subjects.
Right.
As Aprylete said, about history, and it's not just about one sexuality.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
Which is why I give books to children at Christmas time because I'm not sure what they're getting in school. And
Yeah.
so, want to expose them to different things. And Yolanda, we had a discussion not too long ago with our friend Derek Barnes, who's written a great book about teaching and the way our children are taught in the
Yeah.
classroom. Like Lava in My Veins is about his son who was having difficulty in a classroom, right?
Mm.
And so he came up with a story. He's a writer. He's a very creative writer, and he developed this story, which is in graphic form, sort of cartoon form, with a story, and telling about how children were exposed to different forms, and teachers were giving them different opportunities in which to learn.
Mm.
And you'll be able to see that interview on next Tuesday.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
That's
very good.
gonna
And
be good.
even a continuum from that, we had a beautiful conversation with Quinn yesterday where she explained to us that the way that she learned was not conventional. And back in the day, the path that she was on,
Mm-hmm.
it was more what we would have said back in my day, that she was slow.
Right.
But here this young lady is about to get her PhD. That is so
And
beautifully.
and luckily for her, there was an adult. Her mother was there and recognized she needed to go where she was welcomed and where she would receive the attention and education in the form, in the manner that was conducive to her learning pattern.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really powerful.
And as a village, and that's what Darren was saying, as a village, we have to do more. Even though we don't have children, we still have a moral obligation, like you do, Sybil, of giving books out because you understand the importance of books.
Oh, look, here comes Auntie Sybil with more books for
Okay,
Christmas.
you might not be the most popular person at Christmas, but
Yeah, yay. Thanks, Auntie Sybil. Um, that's okay. That's all right. But it's a great story, and so thank you for sharing that
Thank
with
you.
us, Aprylette. Just very quickly, one of the other stories in our Black Health Matters column. That's one of our partners. It shares about the practice of gratitude and how practicing gratitude, can really improve your health.
Yeah.
And
It's a
and
really good article.
yeah, both mentally and physically. And we are continuing our support to help HBCU Barber Scotia rise. Check out the newsletter, how you can invest in this HBCU in Concord, North Carolina's future. Please go to SybilWilkes.com for that as well. So go to SybilWilkes.com if you'd like to subscribe to our newsletter. We'd love to have you. It's absolutely free. Give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday. You'll have Aprylette there. You'll have our other young contributors, as Yolanda referenced. Quinn Townsend Riley is our LGBTQ plus contributor. Her big brother, Cameron Riley, is also a political contributor. And Coy Malone is our social justice contributor. And you'll see all of our stories during the holiday week as well, as we keep people going. We don't take the holidays off. We keep working.
We
So
don't stop.
we just don't
Because
stop.
the man not taking the holiday off.
Not the man. That's
Not to
very
be
funny.
confused with the devil.
No, the man.
The man.
The
The
man.
man got his foot on your neck. The man.
Yeah, the man.
So we discuss all of these things, and there's going to be a lot in every day to keep you informed and empowered, and we'd love to have you. And also, as we're getting into the holiday period, we'd love to have you share your subscriptions and have other people come in to SybilWilkes.com, give the email and the name of people that you'd like to receive the newsletter, and have them informed and empowered every day. It won't cost you a dime. All we ask is that when you get your newsletter every day, to please open it. Take a look around. Come on in. You'll like what you see. I promise. I promise.
It's the best newsletter out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as Aprylette can attest, you can listen to it.
That's right. Yeah.
I listen
Yeah.
every day.
And our friend J. Anthony Brown listens as well. So we appreciate that. All the folks that go in and listen to it as well. And just look for it. It says, listen. And you hit that and you can hear what's in the newsletter. It is time for us to our question of the day. And Yolanda suggested this. And I think it's very interesting for us, young women with different names. And perhaps Yolanda has the most conventional name. Starks, but no. But I want to know what's in a name. Are you happy with your name? If you didn't have your name, or if you had your name and you could pick another name for yourself, what? Oh my, was that a silent scream?
This right here is like very, to me.
Is that triggering?
It is. And I don't like to say that word, but yes. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is it?
No,
she can handle it, Sybil.
I can definitely handle it. Don't apologize. But yes, my name is something that, I can feel the flutters. It's just, yeah.
Because you like it that much.
I want to understand, really, if you can be patient and break it down so I can understand, because I don't understand the bond that people have with their names. And so
Yolanda doesn't mind what you call her.
But I want to understand.
She doesn't have an issue with, you can call her boo boo, you can call her, not the fool, but you can call her anything. And also it's not, what people call you, it's what you respond to as well.
Well, I know who I am, so I don't care what you call me. But I want to understand your perspective. So be gentle and just explain to me, why are you so attached?
Okay, let me start. Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
Yolanda asked me if you didn't have the name Sybil, or if you could change your name, what would it be? Mm-hmm. And with the exception of my childhood, when people would make fun of, Civil War, and it's not civil, it's Sybil, right. And it's not Sib, it's Sybil. Right. But with the exception of the joking and the kidding, I never was able to find anything with my name. When you go into the trinket stores and they have the keychains, or they have the license plates that you put on your bicycle or something, or even a T-shirt with your name on it. There was never a Sybil.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know it was kind of hard.
Yeah. So that was the only thing. My mother's like, sorry, it could have been Margot. You don't see any Margos there, do you?
Margot's such a pretty name. Go ahead.
That's what my daddy wanted to name me, but my mother said
no. You look like a Margot.
You do look like a Margot. Oh my goodness.
Fair, the hair, like
maybe that should be my club name from now on.
There you go.
So just first of all, find a club, Sybil, that will allow you to come in, and then we'll go from there. So I've never had a problem with my name, with the exception of not being able to find trinkets and stuff with that. And just for clarity, people spell it all different kinds of ways, and it's very simple. But I like
if somebody call you Sybil, would you correct them?
I have had people call me Sybil, and to this day, after 30 years on the air, people call me Sybil. Well, you don't have to be uncivil about it, Sybil.
Do you correct them?
No.
Thank you.
No. Because other people will correct them. Other people will correct them.
That's your pet peeve, Yolanda?
That is one of my biggest issues in life. Yes.
Really?
Yes. I
have to very carefully.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you witness someone, if their name was Anastasia and someone said Anastasia, and then they correct it, you would have a
100%.
Why? Why is that?
Because, well, first of all, correction is embarrassing. People, it is somewhat rude to correct someone. I believe, unless it is to help them. If you correct them, that could help them and for their betterment. So that's the first issue I have. But the second issue, who they're talking to. And if somebody makes a mistake, why are we so quick to correct them? What difference does it make?
Well, let me ask you,
if it's writing on a check, I'm with you.
Maybe the delivery, if the delivery is different. So if it's just like, hey, this is how you actually pronounce my name, and then we can continue the conversation, or you
What
just
difference does it make if they pronounce your name wrong?
because some people are attached to their name, and it's just like I want like know my name.
And we
I
go
want to be
back to
called
that.
my name.
And we're back to that because
Yeah.
there are women in our community. Their name is Deborah, and in most places it's Deborah.
Mhm.
But there are people who pronounce it Deborah.
Deborah.
My name is pronounced Deborah, and they are very sensitive about the mispronunciation as far
It
as
should be
you're
spelled
concerned.
differently. With that, I'm sorry, Deborah, but it looks like that.
Wait now.
But I had a situation
Yolanda,
today. Someone, oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead, Aprylete.
I had a situation today. I met someone. I can't even remember her name, but before I engaged with her, I said, "How do you pronounce your name?" Because it was a name that was very unique, and I did not want it to. I didn't want to mess it up. And I know with my name, Aprylete, a lot of people say Aprylite, Aprylete. And I let it be what it is, but then I'll let them know it's actually Aprylete. Like, let me know, and then it's all good. But yeah, so I just in those situations always ask, "How do I pronounce your name?" before I kind of engage.
So even so, you, for example, if I looked at your name, I would be challenged to say it properly. And so looking at it, first of all, it's intimidating because no, really. But if I do the best I can, why not show some grace and give me a break? What difference?
But I would, but I definitely would because it's because I'm an understanding person. It's understandable. Like this isn't so common. It isn't spelled common. You probably never heard it. So I'm very low key and understanding. So I've had people in meetings call me Aprylete multiple times. And then in conversation, if I say, "Hi, I'm Aprylete," then they'll know. You know.
Okay. That is very great. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think it's with the personality of a person too, the attachment to the name, and literally how you interact with humans and like others. If you're a mean person and call me, then that's what you're gonna get. If you're a nice person and it's cool, relax. So I just think it depends on the person.
Especially,
what does your family call you?
My family?
Do you have a nickname?
So yeah, my family calls me Ape, just APE, Ape, like ape, APE. So that's that's what my family calls me. I'm so okay.
That's a love term.
Yeah, and I don't take it as if anything else. Like
because I hate monkeys, so I would be offended.
I love monkeys. And so that's how we differ. I love monkeys, but no, they call me Ape not because I'm a monkey. Okay. And then people outside, like a lot of people in Atlanta call me AP. So for a long time, I would just go by AP because saying Aprylete is very long, drawn out.
That's just too. Oh, that takes too much.
Just call me AP. And I have a real story, but I'll share this offline when it comes to names. Because Yogi, I see what you're doing. I'm not falling in your trap. So I'm not following your trap because I think we've had this conversation before. Early when I first met you, we had this conversation before.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not falling in your trap.
Okay.
This is how she do, y'all. This is how she do. Like real. Come on, tell me why. Be vulnerable.
But it seems to be a real a mind thing for you.
It is.
If you weren't Aprylete, what would your name be? If you could choose, if you came out and your parents said, "I don't know what she looks like. Let's just wait for her to grow into it, and she'll tell us what she feels like."
Right.
Well, see, that is a thing, and I love y'all. And when I say y'all, I mean everybody that's watching and y'all. If I am Aprylete because of that. I'm just gonna give it that. I am Aprylete because of.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. That's fair enough. Yolanda, if you weren't Yolanda, what would you be?
I would be Simone.
You've always loved that name.
That's it.
It's so regal. Simone.
I think it's sexy. Simone sounds like Simone.
You look like a spoon to me. But I
why do you say that?
Because that's your sister-in-law.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, whoa. Okay, yeah, gotcha. But Sybil, what about on the mispronunciation of names? What about, because back in the 80s and 90s, we had some very, very creative names, Shaniqua, Shaquana, a whole lot.
Yeah.
That is just challenging to pronounce. Why is it so important that a name that is that difficult to pronounce and spell? Why challenge me to that extent? Isn't there some other stuff in life that we can really spend time on?
There really is. And now with young athletes, you see some unusual names across the backs of their jerseys, or as announcers are going, there goes sir for 6 points, or it's like sir. It's kind of crazy.
Well, in situations like that, I think that you do need to learn how to pronounce somebody's name for announcers and what have you. So for public situations, purposes, yes, thank you. I think that's different. I do think you do need to take the time to learn how to pronounce a name if it's going to be
or the spelling of a name.
Yeah.
Or because everybody thought, oh, what a great invention to switch the name around and have to take it from heaven and make it Nevaeh. And it's like, you're not the first, and you're not going to be the last, with this genius concept of calling your child Nevaeh, or what's the other one? There's another one. I forgot what it was now. But spelling of your child's name is also,
it really matters too.
Because, it does.
Yeah, I came across somebody I know in my life. I think her name had like 3 R's in it in a row, and and it's like, baby, I'm sorry, because why is there 3 R's?
So look at this.
Yolanda, I worked in a K-8 setting during that era. We had a lot of names that had no spelling to pronunciation correspondence. Woo, child, on Facebook. No spelling, no pronunciation.
Between the letters.
Oh, Janice, that's funny.
That
just didn't go together.
Right.
And it's
or kids that come to school. My mom used to say a lot of times kids would come to school. She was a Chicago public school teacher, and the teacher would read off their names and they wouldn't respond because the only thing they've been called at home is something that is not what you call people in public, or you call them junior.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know, and the teachers they're not listed as a junior, but the kids, that's what they are referred to. They don't have any idea when they first go to school what their names are. So I'm just really curious.
Names are cool. I think names are cool. So, but we have this little girl that I just love. She's my little girl now. Her name is Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just such a great name. I would love to talk with her mother and say, how did you come up with that? Why that name? But Justice named her baby True. And so her name is True Justice.
Her name is True Justice.
I love that.
How that is so cool. So names are cool.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah.
There's a guy. His son's name are Rhythm Blues.
Yeah. That's Walter Johnson.
Yes, like I think that is so cool, and I think
that is cool.
They have in Rhythm Blues and Soul, and they have traditional middle names. So if they wanted to go by their middle name and things like that, they could. But Rhythm
Blues,
I think that is so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh, that's cool.
So neat. So we have we're close to.
I gotta say one more.
Okay.
My nephew, he named his son Cody. Cody, I think. It's a K. Okay. Kod. See what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Don't shoot me.
Don't cancel her. Don't cancel her.
Okay.
I'm sorry I corrected you. I'm so sorry.
that's all right. You always correct me. But his middle name is Breeze. So this kid's name is Cody Breeze. And let me tell you something. He walks into that. He
like
wears
cool
that.
Breeze.
Yes.
I love
He
that.
is the coolest kid, and he's so confident. And when you ask him his name, it's Cody Breeze.
Okay. And his little sister is Zuri Gray.
Zuri Gray. Those are some really unique names.
Really cool names.
Like the way it rings, the way it flows. So yeah, when you have a name like that, it's like, call me by my name. Call me by my name. I don't want to be anything else but my name.
Okay, right. I can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. That's really cool. Some of the other names just head scratchers, but Yolanda, if you could give yourself a Simone, what would be your middle name?
Well, Simone is so beautiful. I don't need a middle name.
Okay. All right then. Okay.
Yeah. Simone will stand on its own.
Come on, Simone, stand on her own. When I was young, I used to tell people my name was Dorinda.
Dorinda.
I always loved that name, Dorinda.
Okay, I like that name. Sybil, what's your takeout name?
It's very
kills
simple
me with this.
because most people, when you say Sybil, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So my takeout name is Susan.
So when she called and placed an order, so she don't have to go through spelling it.
Yeah, she just says Susan.
It's just Susan.
I love it. How do you spell that? And if you have to ask how to spell Susan, then there's a problem. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to call someplace else to order food. All right. So that is our question of the day. Thank you all for participating. And I'm sorry if it was a triggering question. But let's talk about what's going on in the world. Have you all watched the news today?
I haven't.
No.
That's why
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so check this out. A multi-million-dollar lawsuit was announced against Sean Combs, Diddy. The producer, music mogul, and one of the world's most famous names in the music business for decades was sued in federal court today by Cassie, his ex, the R&B singer once signed to his label, who accused Sean Combs of rape and repeated physical abuse over a decade. The suit filed in federal district court in Manhattan. Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, and who has long been his romantic partner, says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was 19 years old, he began a pattern of control and abuse that include plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounter.
Shut up. That is awful. Oh my God, my heart mourns for that sweet girl.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a horrific week because this week we've talked about one young woman who, a famous young woman, star of stage and screen, Keke Palmer, and her relationship with her baby daddy, the young man that is the father of her child, and the physical abuse. And now we've taken it to another level. Cassie is accusing him of these horrific offenses over 10 years. And his lawyer says, of course, that he denies them and says they are offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, he has been subjected to her persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about the relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, she's now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Just how outrageous, just the allegations of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's even if it is exaggerated, if it is a smidgen of that,
small part of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? We have to applaud her and lift her up for standing up and saying something. It don't matter how long it took her to get there to do it, but good for her that she stood up. And I'm not mad at her for seeking a payday.
Right.
Yes, Negro, pay me. But in addition to that, we are going to expose you and let the world know how much of an effed up individual you are. and insert name, whomever
Right.
it is.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Wow.
That's god awful.
And now there is a lot of talk of behind the scenes and people saying, yeah, it's true. And other people, who are Diddy's people saying, absolutely not true. The truth hopefully will come out in this
Ooh,
trial.
you know how much I hate celebrity gossip. I
I
hate
know.
celebrity gossip. But this,
I just pray for her
Yeah.
betterment.
her
I
peace.
really do.
Bless her heart. Peace
Yeah.
to you, sweet girl.
Yeah. This is a trial and a case that we've been watching since the very beginning, and we still to this day say her name and fill in Breonna Taylor. A federal judge has declared a mistrial after jurors failed to reach a verdict in the civil rights trial of the former Louisville police detective who was part of the botched raid that killed Breonna Taylor back in 2020. Brett Hankinson was charged with violating the civil rights of the 26-year-old black woman, her fiance, and her neighbors when he opened fire through a window and a sliding glass door into her apartment during the raid in March of that year. He was charged with 2 counts of deprivation of rights for firing 10 rounds through Taylor's bedroom window and sliding glass door, which were covered with blinds and a blackout curtain. Multiple bullets went through the wall into her neighbor's apartment. Investigators said none of Hankinson's rounds hit anyone. The judge declared, Rebecca Grady declared the mistrial after the jury, which began their deliberations on Monday, failed to reach a decision on both charges. And of course, people remember Breonna Taylor as an emergency medical worker who was home with her boyfriend. They were asleep. It was the middle of the night. Her boyfriend heard a noise as police came in, no knock, and with a battering ram to
Right.
open her door, to knock down her door. He fired. The boyfriend had a legally obtained weapon, and he fired a single shot from the handgun, believing that it was intruders into their home since they didn't announce themselves. And the group of 7 officers were executing this no-knock search warrant around 12:45 in the morning. The federal charges against Hankinson, brought 3 months after a jury acquitted him of state wanton endangerment charges, and he admitted to
Wait, what does
firing
that mean?
wanton endangerment. I guess that he was not with uh, not
Intent?
yeah, intent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll look that up. Breonna Taylor's death brought attention to the whole no knock warrants thing. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bring charges against him again in order to complete, since it was declared a mistrial. But just awful, just awful.
If his bullet didn't hit or not, at the end of the day, it's still reckless. Like there should still,
Yeah, it is.
like, whew, Jesus, that's
And
how.
what her parents and loved ones are going through, just
Mhm.
reliving this.
Reliving it, and case after case, trial after trial. You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Peace to them.
And here are some folks in trouble, and we might have to put some money down on their books.
Okay.
From handbags to clothing, shoes, and even sunglasses, federal authorities say they seized more than 1 billion with a B dollars worth of counterfeit luxury products in New York,
Mm.
making it the largest seizure of counterfeit goods in U.S. history. 2 people by the name of Adama Sow and Abdullah Jallo were arrested Wednesday and indicted for allegedly trafficking counterfeit goods. The
Mm.
defendants used a Manhattan storage facility as a distribution center for massive amounts of knockoff designer goods, according to one U.S. attorney. Pictures from the Department of Justice show hundreds of handbags that resemble those of the luxury fashion brands, including Louis Vuitton and Gucci, not to be confused with. Another picture shows dozens of large shipping boxes the Department of Justice said are filled with the counterfeit items. In all, the Department of Justice says it seized 219,000 items.
Ooh.
And the 2 people who were indicted face maximum sentences of 10 years in prison if they're convicted on the trafficking charges. Counterfeit.
Mm. 10 years. Just
That's
for moving a little.
that's that's some serious stuff. $1 billion worth
of counterfeit goods. They was about to have a payday. They was ready to rack up on
they were right before the Christmas holidays.
Ooh, baby, they were ready for a good payday. Come get your Gucci bag. Come get your Louis socks.
Louise.
Right, Louise socks.
See, Aprylete.
At the swap meet.
You are so open because last week you told us about how you got your combo bed.
your mattress and your TV.
You're so familiar with this.
Yeah, take it down. Just meet me at the corner.
Meet me at the what?
At the corner. Man. Dang.
The entertainment news has not been good this week, especially for Black folks.
Hold on, Sybil. Hold on. Are you moving to entertainment?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm not ready to move that yet. I'm looking at the clock too. But yesterday, the big news was about Will Smith and Dwayne Martin. That a former employee, like bodyguard / assistant of Will Smith, had come out and said that he came in on a dressing room with the two men having sex, and everybody denies it. Well, Dwayne Martin is not saying anything. He's just saying absolutely not true. Will's people are talking about a lawsuit, and Jada's pretty much saying, "Oh, hell to the gnaw." But that was the big story yesterday. I didn't choose to do that because it just seemed like it was just blah, blah. And now today, the story early this morning is that Snoop is going to quit smoking weed. I don't know if it's for his health or whatever else. But now...
Well, the fact that he said, respect my privacy.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Absolutely. But it's still a lot of speculation. And does that mean, what does that mean for his health? Because that's what people are thinking about his health. And if he's just...
It means we'll find out when he tells us.
But wait 1 second. Respect the privacy. But did he come out and say he's going to stop smoking weed, or did someone...
No,
he came out and said that. He said, I'm going to stop smoking weed. Respect my privacy.
Yep.
What was the reason why he even came?
Well, that's what people are asking.
It's like, why? And love Snoop, but it's like, why did you tell us if you want us to pry? Like, we want to know. But don't ask me why. Like, boy, okay.
Respect my privacy.
I'm gonna stop smoking weed. All right, cool.
But he has smoked a lot.
Yeah,
so he had a professional person to roll his stuff. Yeah, that put somebody out of work.
Man,
and what do you put on your resume?
So silly.
I mean, really, how do you word that?
Professional
roller.
Professional roller. I like that. That got a ring to it. Professional roller.
I know
somebody got to roll him.
Okay, and somebody apparently rolled him so well that he got a job doing that. And knowing people that have smoked with him, they say that's somebody's. Not only is the roller out of business, the weed man is out of business.
Or, we just don't know. He could be creating something bigger to...
Yeah, I mean, he could be starting... I mean, he's a very innovative man in terms of product.
Yeah. So why don't we just wait until he tells us before we find out?
I just can't wait for the gummies. Okay, I'm down. Okay. Because he makes a great wine. I
love Snoop wine.
Yeah,
ooh, baby. Yeah. And then if you have the app, it talks to you like he talked to you on the wine. Like when you put the phone up against the wine bottle, and he'll say some stuff to you. It's so cute,
right?
And it's actually really good too.
No, the wine is good. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. That's always something I wanted to come up with an item to market. I just seem to be, every time I think of something, somebody says, well, I got vodka. Well, I got wine. Well, I got glasses. Well, I got, it's like, I got watches.
And just because somebody else is doing it, you do what you want to do despite what everybody else is doing. If it's in your heart.
Yeah. It's good to have a best friend like Yogi. Pour into her. That's right. I say do Sybil socks.
Sybil's socks. Oh, I like
And
that.
cover up these beautiful feet. Okay, let's move to
So
entertainment.
before you move to entertainment, Sybil,
Yes.
while you're in this segment, I have to be clear with the universe.
Okay.
And be clear. I don't know if Diddy did what he did and he deserves due
He's just been
process.
charged. He has not been
And
found guilty.
so I just want, because I don't like to be accused and I don't like accusing people. So I don't know what the circumstances are. My heart still just mourns for her and insert name. And so again, I'm not saying he did it, and I just needed to clear the universe that I'm not accusing anybody of nothing. I'm not jumping on a bandwagon. I'm not in anybody's business. I'm just sending peace to this young lady for whatever reason she has been through. If it's in her head or whatever, I'm just wishing her peace.
Yeah, I agree. And lift her up and may she find the peace and understanding that she needs. Oprah Winfrey in entertainment is on the road talking about the effects of The Color Purple and the new movie adaptation, which is coming out Christmas Day. Yeah. She discussed the novel and upcoming movie musical in her speech at the 74th National Book Award ceremony and benefit dinner held recently in New York City. And she also talked about the effects of the of the Walker book, The Color Purple, and talked about what an effect it had on her some 40 years ago, and the effect that it had on so many people, especially Black women, and the importance of diverse books. And going back to what Aprylete was talking about, censorship and things like that, back in the day, The Color Purple would have been one of those books that people would have taken off the shelves, right?
Absolutely.
But a number of Alice Walker's books are banned, right? She's on the ban. She's on the ban list. Yeah.
She's on the bandwagon, apparently. She's talking about the readers who picked up The Color Purple 40 years ago and found the kind of truth that she found in those pages, and also people that found their voices, just as Seeley did in the story. And so Alice Walker made history in 1983. She became the first Black woman to win the Pulitzer Prize for fiction for The Color Purple. And she also won the National Book Award for fiction that year. It's been adapted throughout the year, culminating in the movie version of the musical opening this Christmas at a theater near you. She said that is the power of a story well told. Thank you, Alice Walker. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing. I love the musical.
So we go buy the tickets in advance, right?
We have to. Yeah, I think so.
I'm down. I'm in.
Yeah. So would you go opening day, Christmas Day? Is that going to be?
I would. Would you, Sybil?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this something that we could take our youngins, our little people?
I'm not sure how young. That might be where Uncle Ward takes them to see, one of the Marvel Universe movies, and we take some of the older ones to see The Color Purple.
I wonder, will young people, because it came out how long ago?
40 years ago.
The movie.
The original movie was like it was late 80s.
It was in the 80s. So yeah, I was really, really, really young then. Shut up. And so I'm wondering, will young people be interested? Because we were interested in it. So
well, I think the interest, Yolanda, don't you think the interest is the casting?
Oh, right.
The young people that like what is it, Halle or Chloe Bailey is in it?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, that was smart. Okay, good. Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to see not only the response and how the box office does, but the support that they get.
Yeah.
So maybe you could, Auntie Sybil, you can tell the young people that they have to read the book before we go and see the movie.
Okay, I can do that. Yep. Absolutely. Yolanda, it's time for Yogi's Jewel. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
And I can't see.
Okay, I'll read it for you. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Hard to get them past the braids, huh?
Not really. So, oh, yes. Oh,
yes.
Yes. Yes. And I'm great at this. the best friendships are rooted in honesty. So this week we talked about being honest.
Right.
And even when it hurts, you could still be gentle and be honest.
And it usually starts out with, I love you, right?
Right.
Disclaimer out there, like, I love you. However, ... Comma.
Like, I love you, right? I do that.
Exclamation point.
Shut
up. I love you, right?
Well, you're not gonna be able to say, well, you didn't say nothing.
No,
you
never.
didn't tell me.
And I would never say it that way. Just for the record, I would never say it.
My bad.
But you said it just that way.
Y'all are so
Aprylete, it's been nice talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So it was beautiful, and enjoy your 15-hour ride to your hairstylist and your 15 hours there in the chair.
How often do you go?
Y'all didn't see me in hats and stuff on this show. We've been on a budget, so we haven't been in a minute.
How much it costs?
Yo, you all up in my business.
It's a public service announcement. I don't get my hair did, so I don't know.
So when you got your hair done, Yolanda, how much did it cost you?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. This little young girl, I was in a store and I saw this little young girl and I saw her hair and I was like, can you do mine? And she said, yes. And I was like, okay. So she told me she would pay, she charged me $100 and she would provide the hair.
Only $100?
Oh my God. I was so
more than $100.
I was so embarrassed, but I gave her more because I had my niece to come over. She did it. And it's like, I gave her a whole lot more, but I got her. So now she come to my house. She'll take them out. She'll put them in. So I will compensate her because before I paid like $300. Yes. And I am too cheap for that. I'm not. I was flabbergasted when she asked. I was flabbergasted when she asked me that. What?
Yeah.
$300?
Yeah.
US dollars?
Baby.
Yeah.
Man,
anyway.
No.
Wow. Well, I'm going to keep going back to my place every week and just say thank you. Just flat iron it.
You have to, because nowadays, baby, it's an arm and a leg for hair for anything really service wise when it comes to that. Yeah. It's getting expensive.
Absolutely. Wow. And they're still making up for the losses of the pandemic. Ladies, it's been great. Carry on, beautiful ones, with your hair. We appreciate you. And thank you all for watching and listening and contributing to our conversation.
It was fun.
It was fun. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Aloha.